Hey, I'm Trey, and I have another story about what happens when some serial killers escape from prison. Have you ever wondered why some seemingly normal people wake up one day, snap, and decide to kill everybody in a 5-block radius? Me too. I enjoy reading true stories like these, and I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Well, if you're ready, let's get started. (1826) in the country of Finland, a man by the name of Juhani, I can't pronounce his last name, so I'm not even going to try. I'm only going to pronounce his name as A, was born to his mother and father whose name was not provided. Juhani ran away from home at age 15 and lived a nomadic lifestyle. Whenever he couldn't find work to feed himself, he would resort to stealing. He wasn't too good at being a thief because he was caught regularly. Punishment for theft back then was pretty hefty. It was common for people to spend years in prison for stealing. In this case, Juhani was arrested for horse theft. During those times, it was considered a serious offense. Some places would execute you for such a crime. While Juhani was arrested, the authorities transported him to a larger prison. During transport, he escaped. Enraged about his life and where it was heading, he swore to pay back all who had a hand in causing his life to be this way. He also swore that he wasn't going to go back to prison. That's the way to live your life. Blame everybody else for your shortcomings. Juhani came upon a wealthy estate occupied by the husband and wife. No names were provided. Juhani broke into the home and encountered the husband. When the husband tried to fight off this intruder, Juhani hacked the husband to death with a hatchet. The wife was taken hostage and repeatedly raped by Juhani. As the woman lay helpless, emotionally and physically scarred from the attack, Juhani grew tired of the woman. He picked up his hatchet and decapitated the woman. It takes a special kind of evil to hack someone to death with a hatchet. He then left there and headed to his parents' house. When he arrived, his father answered the door. Juhani pulled out a hatchet and struck his father's arm, partially cutting it off. He then killed his father by decapitating him. His mother witnessed this, began screaming, and ran into the children's room. Juhani then went inside and found his mother protectively crying over her 2 children, who, mind you, are Juhani's siblings, were pleading for their lives. Juhani was undeterred and began to hack his mother with the hatchet, cutting her head off and killing her. Next, he focused on his 2 young siblings, hacking both to death. But to chop his whole entire family to death is just inconceivable. He's just a madman. After he completed his murder spree against his family, Juhani fled into the forest. While on the run from the authorities and living in the woods, Juhani encountered a lone male passing through, whose name was also not provided. Looking for work, Juhani pulled out his hatchet and commenced to chop him to death, cutting his head off. Juhani then stole all of his valuables. The man was just looking for a job and you take his head off. Now that's cold-blooded. He then began walking towards the town of Lami, where his friend Auntie Suko lived. They both decided to work together committing crimes. They traveled from town to town, killing several people along the way that they would encounter during their travels. The 2 of them broke into a home that was occupied by a large family. No names were provided. Juhani and his friend took turns chopping the adult 2 women with his hatchet. The first one died from her injuries, and the second one survived but was left blind from the attack. Juhani and his partner in crime attempted to flee the country by walking to the border. The authorities have been searching for them for weeks due to the trail of carnage that they left behind. Juhani was apprehended and his partner managed to escape on foot. Juhani was charged with 12 homicides. The authorities were sure that he was responsible for many more unsolved murders in the area. He was tried and found guilty and sentenced to death. Juhani eventually confessed the details of his crime to other inmates. The court commuted the death sentence to life imprisonment and 40 lashes with a whip. After his punishment was administered, he was also tortured by being chained to a wall for a year. In the year of 1854, Juhani died in his jail cell chained to that same wall. If you enjoy stories like these, I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and notification button. God bless you and stay safe.